Supernatural Confessions Friday Night Live Finale Special in Kuching, Sarawak. We were fortunate to be invited to the Tuak Festival to gather ghost stories and present it in front of live audience. But first, we were treated to some Sarawakian hospitality with 9-course traditional culinary experience.
Made from rice, and in this case, we use apple in it as well. The flavorings.
Unfortunately, we were off to a rocky start. Man down. Joseph de Cotta wasn't feeling too alpha and had to be admitted to the local hospital for some unknown ailment. After sending him into the emergency room for checkup, the rest of us had to drown our worries with Kuching special iced milk tea and eat our sorrows away with the classic Sarawak Kolomi and ABC Santan. We then drove around town with Kim, showing us the local sights and explaining to us the origin story of Kuching. It is named after the mata Kuching fruit and has nothing to do with cats, but which is better for tourism, a fruit tree or an adorable kitten?
Yeah, I need to walk lah.
Actually, you call it Cotta lah,
I
but
saw durian. I need to look at all the
Hornbill.
And then the stories started flowing. The Civic Centre is abandoned and reputed to be haunted, with multiple suicide cases. Surrounding it are many sites with their own dark tales.
Stories like, for example, people will see a nurse that is no longer around in this dorm area. Also, there are sightings of ladies in white, babies crying, and also this place, after it is left abandoned, some management actually tried to take over and turn it into an Airbnb or a resort or something like that, but it lasted very, very short, like a couple of months. Then the whole place just abandoned and closed like that. It's located very near to the hospital, at the same time located very near to the graveyard, right? So probably it's a intersection between different realms. So sometimes people will be going back after work, right? Sometimes when they sit waiting for bus stop, they will just suddenly people pop up and then just wait at the bus stop together with them. According to all these people, they say they always pop up not from the left, not from the right, but from behind.
Where the grave is.
Where the grave is. Yeah. So, and this place is also quite scary lah in a way. But it's not because it's abandoned or whatnot. I think it's just because of the place. Like my friend has a unit on top, so he lives in a higher level lah. So his experience would be like when he go back, like for example, he will like return back to his unit and he wanted to go up, right? And when he go up, when he get into the unit, because it's not fully occupied, as you can see, as in there's still a lot of units unsold and not a lot of people moved in. So he would like, when he get into the elevator, he would hear like people crying, he would hear like kids crying, but the sound, it's not like it stopped at a level and you pass by and you hear it and then fade away as if like the woman or the kid is crying from that floor, right? But the crying sound comes from inside the elevator, where he is in the elevator. So there are also like, for example, when he is from, let's say 10th floor, because I don't exactly remember which floor he's at. So like 10th floor, he was supposed to get into ground floor, but the elevator wouldn't go straight to ground floor. It will stop at different floor and open, but nobody came out. But then after that, instead of going down, it will go back up. And weird things about the elevator lah. Probably it's electrical problem, but again, this is actually new development. So why this place is mentioned to be slightly more haunted compared to the rest is because this is where during Japanese occupation, this is where Japanese execute the people.
On these grounds itself, it's very
On this ground itself, yeah.
Along this road, it's called the Road. Although it's a straight road, but some Kuching people will know that this road, try not to drive it at night. Although it's a straight road, but sometimes you'll get an accident because somehow when you drive, you feel like you need to turn, but the road is just straight. That's how you got into accidents lah. People say something's close your eye, they will direct you in a different road. So yeah, this road, along this road.
During our uni time, I have a friend who got into a freak accident at this particular road also lah. But the accident, it's weird in a sense that got killed exactly here where you can actually see the tree on top, right? So if let's say I want to stop here, okay. If let's say you look at the traffic light, that it's a straight road, and even if you speed and you hit something, probably it's not going to be that bad. But according to police report, they suspect that he actually hit something and his car was actually flipped until that tree or the branch high up and then crashed. Car was total. And the police couldn't find the explanation. Is because they couldn't find any other branches that is found near his vehicle. But that is the only tree that they found with the same branch and the same leaves now. So the police couldn't explain how, at what speed he actually knocked something and then got flipped that high up and crash. So it was here.
We got a call that Joseph was ready to be discharged. His blood pressure and blood test results were positive. Doctors said he needed more potassium. I suspected the paranormal. We sent him back to rest and hopefully he would recover in time for the finale show.
So this place is actually a bit creepy. Things will come and play.
Like what kind of things?
There will be table pulling on top. It's the sound like people pulling the tables, furniture. But in fact, there's no one upstairs. I assume that it's only me, myself. I heard that noise. And then I asked another colleague of mine. They also hear the same ragging sound. So the next day I went to check, nothing moved lah. Basically the things are still the same. So I asked another colleague, which is 3 of us in total actually encounter the same experience lah. Especially during like 1 o'clock. Upstairs we are sure that there's no one. That's the story lah. People tell me there's like 1,000 spirit or 100,000 spirit upstairs. But I don't know, I'm a Christian. I don't believe, I only hear sound. But they don't kacau lah.
What's the history of this place?
This is a Japanese building. Basically it's this is the only Japanese building in Kuching that is left. According to some Shifu master, that is the gateway. You see the gawang there? So this is the gateway where all the spirits will be here. Because previously we have weirder things happen. So the Shifu actually adjusts a few things for us. Like some things needs to be closed. Some doors, that's why we never open certain doors. So it's your belief, my belief, I don't know. So I rather don't want to be alone upstairs.
This is actually Catholic Church, St. George. There's a story that came from this building. It was actually one of our event time. We are supposed to launch one of the block or something, a new building lah. So there's one time we were here setting up for a event, and we are waiting for the time for the event to start lah. So everything else is done already. So one of my ex-colleague, went to walk around lah. So he went to walk around, walk until he reached this one room or place, and the door was just open. So I thought, oh, maybe this is just one of the exhibition area or places that people can visit lah. So he walked in. So he said when he walked in, it looked like quite a normal room lah, normal space with books, and also all those photographs of a priest that used to service and used to help out this church. So it just looked like any other room. So he was just there, and then he was just looking around and then whatnot. And then suddenly came a Angmo priest. But the Angmo priest was dressed in a Franciscan robe. So he saw the guy walked in. And then the guy looked at him, and then he looked at the guy, which is a priest that he assumed. Then the guy asked him, "What are you doing here?" Oh, he said, no lah, I'm waiting for the event downstairs, I'm just walking around, I'm just checking the place and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So then the guy did not say anything, the guy just turned and left. Then after that, he thought like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in this room lah. So he zao lah. So he left the room. The moment he left the room, and then he walked a bit, then he saw one of the staff that is working in the building lah. So the staff asked him, let's not use names here lah, huh? So he say, let's say Jay lah, Jay. Hey Jay, what are you doing here? So he's like, oh, I'm just walking around checking this place. So he's like, hey, where do you come from? How come I didn't see you? So then Jay say, oh, I actually came out from this room. That, inside was like this. Then after that, the guy say, this whole place is actually locked. There are no rooms. It's not supposed to be open, right? So it's like impossible. So like, let's go back and check out the room. So he brought the guy who found him back to the room. And then when they sampai there, the room is actually locked. And then he's like, probably just somebody who locked up the place. The guy saying, no, this place is locked up all this while. Even me, myself, I've never visited the room inside as well because it's locked up all the time. So he's like, but I just been inside earlier on. So yeah, that is the St. Joseph story.
I really don't feel good right now. This is getting a...
Is there anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.